Hey my babies, it's Auntie Trice with another video for you. If you have not done so, please head on over to all of my other social media platforms and follow me on there. They're going to be listed in the description box up underneath this here video. Click the like button on your way in here, my babies. That's a quick and free way to support Auntie and push me through the algorithm. I so greatly appreciate it. And if you have not done so, go ahead and subscribe to Auntie's channel today because you know you're coming back and I know you're coming back, my babies. I got my handy dandy phone and it's time for us to get into the tea for today. We're going to start this segment off talking about Karlissa and how she felt about Chrisean being bombarded by Ronnie at the mall in Baltimore. Okay, so we're going to listen to Karlissa and then I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Thoughts on the restraining order? The restraining order was dated the day before the issue, so I was confused. The restraining order was a day before the problem, so I'm confused. Wasn't the restraining order had a different date on it, Bree? Didn't she already have a restraining order? The time was different? It was earlier before the issue. Yeah, you can't get nothing past Bree, honey. She like the FBI. Bree said the restraining order had an early time on it, so we don't know what the hell going on. Maybe she had powers. Maybe she saw it coming. Maybe she used her telekinesis or something.
You in prison?
They both happened on the 29th.
Two of us.
I know, but the timestamp was before. Yes, she filed it because he been threatening her. I just say just give him what he asked for so she could get rid of him. That's what I would do. I would give him that test that day and the results too. Now, be gone. Because just imagine, if she give him that test, she don't never have to talk to him again. Because y'all already know I know it's my baby. I don't play like that. Y'all see, y'all don't hear me saying nothing. How bad I wish I could, honey. I don't say nothing. I don't play with no kids.
Karlissa, let me tell you something. I really just about had it with you, ho. I really have. But before I dig into your ass, let's go ahead and get into this restraining order that Chrisean Rock filed on Ronnie before he even did something to her. Okay, this is the restraining order that Karlissa was talking about. So let's dig into it. This is courtesy of the neighborhood talk. So let's make this thing a little bit bigger so y'all can see what she's talking about, because she said that the restraining order had a different time stamp than when the actual incident occurred. Okay, so let's make this bigger. So according to this peace order that Chrisean filed against Ronnie, she actually filed this peace order the same day that Ronnie met up with her in the mall. She filed it hours before she actually went to the mall, because this says at 12 a.m. That's what this is, okay? So she filed this real early. I don't know how she filed that at no 12 a.m. I don't know how that worked. I don't know not one courthouse that's open at 12 a.m. But she filed this way beforehand. So if Ronnie were to come into contact with her, he has violated this restraining order. In return, he has violated his probation, and that's probably why he needed to go to court, because he violated his probation for violating this restraining order that Chrisean filed against him hours before he even seen her. Chrisean is not dumb. She's not a victim. I'm trying to tell you, she just act like that. She knows how to play her role very well. Okay, let's move on. Now it's time to bring Karlissa ass down to the red carpet. Bring your ass here. Come here. Let me tell you something, Karlissa. You too old to be acting like this. And if you gonna be anything, you need to be fucking for real. You know that child ain't your grandbaby. You can look at that child and you can tell that baby is not your grandbaby. You know what your children produce. You have seen it. You know what you have produced. It came from you. You have seen it. So stop playing like this child is your grandbaby. That's why you want Chrisean to get that DNA test so bad. You trying to manipulate her talking about, oh, I know it's my grandbaby. Well, just go ahead and give him the DNA test so he can get out your face. No, you want her to give him the DNA test because you know for a fact that's not your grandbaby. And the DNA test is going to prove that. But you're trying to be manipulative to Chrisean saying, oh, I know that's my baby. I got your back 100%. But you could just give him the DNA test to prove that that's Blueface baby. That's a Blueface baby. No, you know that's a Ronnie. That's a Ronnie baby. That's a Chiron Kane baby. And you know that. So that's why you are trying to manipulate her. Trying my son, go ahead and go get a DNA test. We know, baby, talking about you don't speak on kids and you don't play about the shit like that. You've been speaking on Chrisean Jr. since he's been born. Stop playing. Talking about the baby's eyes are spaced far apart. Talking about he might need a helmet and you gonna wear a helmet. But you don't play about kids and you don't speak on kids. If you gonna be anything, like I said, you need to be fucking for real now. Because I'm gonna get on you. I got too much evidence on you to show that you play too much. You too old. You push 50, about 50, 60, ho. You got to stop. You got to stop. If you gonna be anything, be fucking for real, Karlissa. You somebody's grandma out here acting like that. I'm being serious. And you think that Chrisean gonna listen to you by giving Ronnie a DNA test when she know for a fact that Ronnie is the father of that child? I'm trying to tell y'all, Chrisean is a very manipulative person herself. She is not about to give Ronnie no doggone DNA test knowing that Ronnie is the father of her child. If she gives Ronnie that DNA test and that test comes back, like for a fact how we know it's going to come back, she loses all ties to Blueface. She loses the fame. She loses access to the notoriety, to the money. She gonna lose all of it. She gonna lose all of it and she know it. So this baby has to be a Blueface baby whether she wants it to or not. Or should I say whether we want it to or not, because she actually wants this baby to be a Blueface baby. She needs it to be a Blueface baby. Sean is nothing without Blueface. She can't hold her own and sustain this fame without this man that she's claiming to be her baby daddy, okay? So we see it now for what it is. We can see it. Chrisean can't hold her own without Blueface. So that's why she needs this baby to be Blueface's, period. But I got something that I want to show y'all. Ronnie though still out here doing interviews, talking about Chrisean Rock, talking about their life before the fame, and he just still out here doing interviews to anybody who gonna pay him to sit on the platform, okay? So we're going to dive into this interview real quickly, and then that's going to be the last thing that we talk about for today. So let's go ahead and get into this interview and try the best of our ability to get through it as quickly as we can, because y'all know how Ronnie Doe is. That's why I don't like going on Ronnie Doe or Chrisean Rock Lives. They prolong something that should have only been 2 minutes to say. They prolong it into a 15-minute live. Something that they could have said in 2 minutes, they prolong it into 15 minutes, and I don't understand why. So hopefully with him sitting down with somebody and they're guiding him through the conversation, he can actually respond better and answer the questions quickly and more effectively. He can do it. So let's see what we're going to get out of this live, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to be here with y'all every step of the way. So let's get into it.
What was childhood like, man? What was it like growing up? What kind of childhood you had?
Man, it was rough, man. It wasn't nothing special, but I'm grateful for my upbringing. I had a supportive family, a good mother. Father wasn't in the picture. You know, I ain't come up in the projects. I came up in the county, which is a suburban area. You know, it ain't all peaches and cream, but I definitely had a more fortunate situation than a lot of other people, you get what I'm saying? But like I say, it wasn't, you know, everything is all ice cream, as my man's Kodak would say.
Okay, y'all, hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me. We're diving into Ronnie's childhood just a little bit. And he tells us he did not grow up hood, y'all. He was a suburb kid, just like I did. I didn't grow up hood, y'all. I'm a country kid. There's a difference between, there's three sides of the world. There's that country world, there's that suburban world, and then that's that hood world. Okay, and well, actually, then there's the rich world. Because suburban don't mean you rich. It means you made it enough to get out of the hood. You understand what I'm saying? So he was raised in a single parent home like I was as well. My father was not in the home. Okay, and it's better that they probably was not in the home, because if they were there, they probably would have fucked it up worse than what it was. So let mama go ahead and do her thing. Shouts out to the single mothers out there that raised their kids and did it for their kids. Got themselves out of the hood, got themselves out of their situation with their children. They did that. My mother was one of those, okay? So we literally are just diving just a little bit into Ronnie's childhood, and I like the way that he's starting off so far. It does not look like he's going to be out here stuttering and, you know, doing other things, because this interviewer is going to keep him focused. So let's keep going.
No, I can dig it. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So look, man, we just gonna get straight to it, man. I know you from the whole Chrisean. That's how you pronounce her name, Chrisean?
Chrisean. Yeah.
I know you from that whole situation, man. Listen, I want to get right into that, man. How did you meet Chrisean?
So me and Chrisean met in high school. We went to a school called Arundel High School. I didn't graduate from that school, however, I did go there for a little bit. I was initially going to a school, Meade High School, transferred over to Arundel, which is where Chrisean was. Me transferring to Arundel, it was a big environmental change, however, I'm able to adapt. So I say all of that to say, me being a new kid at school, Chrisean was already, you know, popular at Arundel, so me being me who I am, you know, I stood out, and me and her initially had homeroom with each other once I transferred to Arundel. You get what I'm saying? And she was already like Instagram famous, model type vibe, you get what I'm saying? So she was always taking pictures, photogenic. So I was photogenic at the time too. I had a few things working in my favor. So, you know, it was just two birds with one stone type of situation. High school sweethearts. You know, it started off with me taking her pictures, and then it ultimately developed into all right, this is my photographer, into a flirt and into you know, developing a relationship.
Damn, I ain't even know, brother. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So y'all was in a relationship. It's safe to say y'all was in a relationship.
Correct. She was my girlfriend. Initially, we was talking, you know, the whole feeling each other out, seeing if she worthy of the girlfriend title. You get what I'm saying? You know, at the time, I didn't know what I know now. So I thought that she was worthy of the title. So I gave it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long was y'all together?
As far as like her being my girlfriend?
Yeah.
I asked her to be my girlfriend in 2017, and I didn't break up with her as in my girlfriend until 2020 of August, which was prior to her going onto the Blue Girls Club, which was Blueface's version of Bad Girls Club. I broke it off with her right before she went back to Cali for that. That was part of the reason she went to that show, because she ain't had nowhere to go.
Okay, we getting somewhere. So I already knew, because I reported that Chrisean and Ronnie were high school sweethearts. They were high school sweethearts, just like Jaden and Blueface are. They are high school sweethearts that had kids together. So Ronnie and Chrisean, they high school sweethearts. He didn't get into it as to why he chose to break up with Chrisean, but he did break up with Chrisean after he caught that body for her. The reason why she went to Blue Girls Club, the reason why she did that was because she was homeless and she had nowhere to go. Then when she moved into the Blue Girls Club mansion after the show was over, she tried to get Blueface and Whack 100 in trouble saying that they was trying to put her out of her house. I reported on this earlier. So Ronnie is actually confirming a lot of things that Auntie had already said. Y'all better go follow Auntie. You better go follow Auntie and look at my previous videos. Okay, I've been told y'all. This is why Blueface was so quick to rescue Chrisean, because he felt like Chrisean didn't have nowhere to go, because she presented herself as such, like a homeless girl. You hear Wet 100 in one of my videos say, you a little homeless girl that ain't got nowhere to go and you ain't got no good hygiene, when he was talking about the girl hygiene and stuff. Oh my God, everybody really was thinking that Chrisean was homeless, because what she really was homeless, because she broke up with Ronnie. Well, Ronnie and her decided to break up or whatever. They broke up with each other, and she ain't have nowhere to go, because she was living with Ronnie at the time when she was in LA in the first place, when he caught that body for her. She was living with Ronnie. Ronnie was supporting her, okay? So she needed to go to somewhere else fast, and she snatched on the Blueface, and she hanging on. She hanging on by a thread. Now she hanging on with this baby. And we all know for a fact, okay, I'm not finna get into it, but thank you, Ronnie, for confirming everything that I already said in the first place, and y'all thought I was being a hater of Chrisean. No, she played her cards right. She's a master manipulator. That's what she do. Let's let him keep going.
Because me and her was done. So she went there hoping that she would change her situation, but also trying to better and further her career. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, you didn't like the idea of her going out there, that's why you broke up with her, or it was something else?
it was something completely different. So I had caught a body in 2019. Caught a body in the state of California. I'm able to speak on this because I was able to be acquitted from this murder under self-defense. So the state of California has justifiable and self-defense homicide. So due to the circumstances of the homicide, I was able to prove it was in self-defense. So, I'm sorry, what was your question, boss man?
The reason why you broke up with her.
So when I came home from the body, the homicide, I was mentally gone, physically gone, spiritually gone. I had to get myself back. So I was also financially gone. Murder 187 is one of the most expensive cases when it comes to criminal law. So myself, along with my family, lost a lot of finances behind this situation. You understand what I'm saying? So when I came home, I broke up with her, not initially breaking up with her, but as in a way of getting myself some space, because I don't know if you observed it, just, over the course of the years of her dealing with Blueface, she's a naturally clingy, woman. Mm-hmm. So she would try, to be with me all day, every day, under me all day, every day. And I'm telling her, like, look, baby, I got to get outside. I got to go to work. If I don't go to work and put these 40 hours in, we don't eat. She wanted to be with me, putting my 40 hours in at work, and she was not an employee. So therefore, I could not make no money while I was dealing with her. It took me calling it quits with her, as I called it at the moment, a break. I said, baby, I need a break. I'm trying to get myself together, get my feet back up under me so we could be good out here. She, at the time, had a show that she went on, which was Ultimate Tag. It was like an obstacle course show. Went out in Cali and shot it. So she had some money coming in from, her role on that show. However, we didn't know when that money was coming in. We was anticipating it, but we had no direct date of when we was gonna get it. You know what I mean? So it was like speculating something that may never come. I knew it was coming, but it was no definite on it. You get what I'm saying? So at the time, I was being a little bit impatient, and you know, the intention was to take a break so that I could get myself together. And along the course of that break, she's a naturally clingy person, like I said. So she found herself trying to fill the void that I gave her with another person. And unfortunately, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say unfortunately because it's fortunate because the situation brought her to where she is today. Mm-hmm. But unfortunate for me, you know, I lost my, you know, somebody that I loved very deeply at the time. You know, I lost my rider that I thought at the time. I lost my chick, man. Like, let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman that I thought at the time was young and dumb. You know, I did think that I was going to be with this woman for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I caught a murder and defended my case with self-defense, which is how I was able to beat it. And this woman was, you know, in that scenario. You get what I'm saying? So I say all of that to say that me and this lady had so much history, so much different experiences that it was overwhelming, you know, when I had to face the fact that she was moving on to bigger and better things.
Okay, y'all. Now he's giving us a little bit more insight onto why he broke up with Chrisean. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Ronnie was broke and he had to move back in with his mama. He couldn't support and sustain Chrisean anymore. And she was also very clingy with him. She wouldn't let him make no money. So he had to tell her she needed to go her way and go with her mama and or Tessika or whoever else she need to go with somebody, but she can't come with him, okay? Because he need to get himself together. Now, if he can get himself together and then somehow get Chrisean back again, I believe that's something that he possibly wanted to do. But her ass was like, oh, no, I got to get it right now. I need me a nigga. I need the stardom. I need the fame. I need it right now. She went her ass on to Blue Girls Club and got with Blueface. That's why she was still going back and forth between you and Blueface, because she was not yet ready to stop dealing with you. Y'all was not done with each other yet.
The place, so we were moving from Maryland to California. We ended up needing a place to stay on the West Coast, coming from the East Coast. We ain't got no family out there. We ain't know nobody out there. So we trying to figure out where we gonna lay our heads. We can't sleep in this car for but so long. So the place where I caught my case ultimately is the place where Chrisean planned on housing because she was going to college until she figured out everything else. She was going to win the college situation with the room and board until she could figure out what she's doing as far as her career, because she always wanted to be famous. So that was her plan and she worked it. Unfortunately, the place that, you know, everything ultimately happened in, it was a college dorm housing. It was specifically aimed for college students. However, this was not on a college campus. This was not a college property. This was in my opinion, a brothel, a spot where men can come through and pay to have intercourse with women. Like, that's what it was in my opinion. And on the West Coast, pimping and pandering, prostitution is way more amplified than it is on the East Coast. Like, the East Coast is late when it comes to hoeing and pimping and pandering. And I found this out when I was in, you know, Men's Central Jail fighting the body. One of my cellies that I had at the time when I was in Men's Central Jail, he was fighting a pimping and pandering charge. They throwing football jersey numbers for pimping and pandering out there.
That's right.
If you get caught pimping and pandering out there, you liable to catch 55 years, all for tricking. They don't play that shit in California. So, long story short, we was trying to move somewhere The place we was trying to move was all bad. We didn't know. We was young. We ain't do no research. We ain't do no due diligence prior to moving into that place. And one thing led to another. But the intention was to go there because it was advertised as college housing. She was going to Santa Monica at the time. We was going to stay there while she was going to Santa Monica. I figure out my music. She figure out her modeling or acting career, whatever. And we going to get it how we get it. But that was the plan and that was the intention. However, that place was just all bad. But like I said, it was due to a lack of research, a lack of understanding the environment, understanding the whole board. I didn't know where I was at. I seen palm trees and got happy. And that's just real.
No doubt.
Okay, y'all, we're getting a little bit more insight as to where they were located during the time of this infamous murder that took place between Chrisean, her nigga, and the nigga they was with. Okay, so they moved in the wrong neighborhood. They moved on the wrong side of town, and that's understandable given that they're from Maryland and they moved all the way to California trying to literally, make their dreams come true. That's all they was trying to do. And then one thing led to another, and Ronnie has a body because of Chrisean, dumbass. Now, y'all go back to my earlier videos because I have had that video up on my page as well, up on this channel as well. And I'm talking about the live that Ronnie did with his friend about the incident in particular that happened. I have that live up on this page for y'all if you want to go back and look at that. Y'all need to see that Chrisean is just crazy. She just do some crazy stuff and then it don't be her getting hurt. It be the people around her. You get it? Oh my God. But let's keep going.
All right, so bringing us back up to when she went to the Blueface show. Did you ever try to reach out to her and say, hey, look here, man, come back home, or you just did you?
Yeah, nah. So initially, and it hurt my heart because Chrisean, such a beautiful, energetic, athletic young woman. She, prior to her going on that show, she was like an athletic type of, you get what I'm saying, female. Once she went on that show, it turned her into a beast. When she went on that show, Jade and Alexis, which is Blueface's initially, allegedly, first baby mother, Chrisean already was ringing bells. So her name ring bells, you get what I'm saying? She's been doing what she's been doing for a long time. So Jaden got whiff of Chrisean being one of basically Blue's best, contenders at the time.
Okay.
Through all of the females on the show. So Jaden ain't like it. She was intimidated by Chrisean. Pulled up to the house where the filming was being done, where the show was being filmed at, with Blueface's sister. I think her name is Callie. Callie Way, some shit like that. Jaden, Alexis, and Callie pulled up to the blue mansion that was camouflaged, looking for Chrisean. Chased Chrisean out the mansion. When Chrisean was running out the mansion, Blueface had a big unicorn in his house. He had a unicorn statue. When Chrisean was trying to take off, get away from Jaden, bing, hit that tooth right on that pony statue. And that's why y'all know her as Rock today.
So first off, before we even get into what he just said, I just want to say, I told y'all niggas.
I told y'all niggas. Y'all thought I was playing, but I told y'all niggas.
I told y'all. I did a video on this a while back. Chrisean lost her tooth because she was running away from Jaden and Callie. They pulled up on her while she was at the Blue Girls Club because Jaden was upset with Blueface because he was giving her more time and was being a little bit too friendly with her. And I think around that time, she found out that they was fucking because I'm just going to be honest, Chrisean was fucking Blueface while she was in the Blue Girls Club. That's why she felt so entitled to that house the way she did, even after the Blue Girls Club was over with. She felt entitled to the house because she had already been fucking Blueface. Already had been rubbing it down with him. Okay? So yeah, Jaden found out about it. She pulled up, wanted smoke with Chrisean. Chrisean started running like a little bitch and knocked her tooth out. That's how that happened. And I told y'all niggas. And while Ronnie trying to act like he don't know who Callie is, nigga, you know who Callie is because you and Chrisean tried to set up Blueface and Callie and Jaden. So you know who she is. Okay, because I sure don't hear you talking about that. We want to know if that was you that Chrisean was texting to get rid of Blueface, Callie, and Jaden. All right, look, he trying to play dumb. I don't put nothing past you either. All right, he's smart now. I'm trying to tell you, these are master manipulators. They are some smart people. They not dumb. Let's keep going.
So, she hit her. So Jaden and Callie was chasing her. They couldn't get her. Chrisean on track. She fast. They couldn't catch her. Chrisean let her tooth come out and kept running. Kept running. So, yeah, I'm sorry. What was you?
Did you reach out to her when she was out there, like with, you know?
So yeah, because when I seen that her tooth came out, I was still in protective mode over her at the time. So when I seen the tooth come out, I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, what's going on? What is going on? Like, we losing teeth for clout. We losing our front teeth for clout. We losing our front teeth for what? A fake schoolyard crip. So once I seen her tooth come out, due to everything that was going on, I was frustrated. I was angry. I wanted to address it. So, yeah, I talked to her after that. I tried to tell her, like, look, yo, you looking stupid. You look crazy. Bring your ass, even if you ain't going to bring your ass home, just so you won't think you got to come back to me. You ain't got to come back to me. But get your ass out that house. Get away from that show. You don't need that show to be successful. You're going to be successful without that show. You brought the light to that show. You made that show what it is. She's so in her own head, she thinking that she needed Blueface to get to where she is today. And in a sense, she did, but she didn't. Chrisean always had the star power. She always had that light within her. She was manipulated by the wrong people, and it turned into a whole nother thing. But she always had what it takes to be a star alone without being attached to a Blueface or a Ronnie though, or etc. So yes, I was concerned. Yes, I reached out, but she knows that when I come, I'm coming. So she avoided me. She didn't want to address it because she knew I was going to really address it. But she, at the time, and I salute her for it, she played her cards right because she knew that if she did, she potentially have a legacy. Now she's Chrisean Rock. Now she's the crazy female with no tooth on the internet. Prior to that, you know, she was just a beautiful track girl on the internet. So once she seen her moment and somebody to believe in her, she ran with it. But the thing is, Chrisean knows me just like I know her. And with that being said, she knew that if she linked up with me at that moment in time, she would not be Chrisean Rock today. And that's me being transparent, and that's me being humble. Why do I say that? Because I would not have let Chrisean stay at that house knowing that she's in danger, all with the interest of, furthering this show, furthering leading these girls astray. I'm a reality type of guy. I don't go for the stuff that's on the internet in front of our face that people ignore. I address stuff. So she knows I was going to address it. And she knew if I addressed it, that was going to be her ticket to fame. But get your ass out that house. Get away from that show. You don't need that show to be successful. You're going to be successful without that show. You brought the light to that show. You made that show what it is. She's so in her own head, she thinking that she needed Blueface to get to where she is today. And in a sense, she did, but she didn't. Chrisean always had the star power. She always had that light within her. She was manipulated by the wrong people, and it turned into a whole nother thing. But she always had what it takes to be a star alone without being attached to a Blueface or a Ronnie though, or etc. So yes, I was concerned. Yes, I reached out, but she knows that when I come, I'm coming. So she avoided me. She didn't want to address it because she knew I was going to really address it. But she, at the time, and I salute her for it, she played her cards right because she knew that if she did, she potentially have a legacy. Now she's Chrisean Rock. Now she's the crazy female with no tooth on the internet. Prior to that, you know, she was just a beautiful track girl on the internet. So once she seen her moment and somebody to believe in her, she ran with it. But the thing is, Chrisean knows me just like I know her. And with that being said, she knew that if she linked up with me at that moment in time, she would not be Chrisean Rock today. And that's me being transparent, and that's me being humble. Why do I say that? Because I would not have let Chrisean stay at that house knowing that she's in danger, all with the interest of, furthering this show, furthering leading these girls astray. I'm a reality type of guy. I don't go for the stuff that's on the internet in front of our face that people ignore. I address stuff. So she knows I was going to address it. And she knew if I addressed it, that was going to be her ticket to fame. That was going to be her ticket to Blueface, which could have potentially been her ticket to Zeus, which is her ticket to whatever is next for her. So Chrisean is a thinker. She plays dumb. She plays stupid. Chrisean thinks. Chrisean know if she would have came back home and got Ronnie involved, she wouldn't have been Chrisean Rock today.
Indeed.
Okay, so y'all heard what Ronnie though said. He did reach out to Chrisean after finding out about what happened to her, but by that time she was like, I'm good, my man got me or whatever. Blueface gonna take care of me and whoop de whoop de wham wham, because he said if she had initially told him about what happened, he would have probably came up there and drug her out of the house and told her to bring her stupid ass back home. You want to be famous bad to where you out here losing teeth for a fake Crip nigga. That's what he said. He said Blueface is a fake Crip nigga. And I told y'all that Blueface was fake Crip. I also previously reported on Blueface being a fake Crip. Do I have to pull up the receipts of why I feel like he's a fake Crip again? Do I have to remind y'all again? Yeah, y'all need a reminder. Let me pull up the receipts. So y'all don't remember when Blueface turned himself in, he was dressed in red from head to toe like he ain't no Crip and you supposed to be in blue? Oh my God, this nigga is just goofy as hell. But let's keep going. In all seriousness, you guys, you can tell by the way that Ronnie speaks about Chrisean that he has a genuine love for this girl. So he would never have placed her in harm's way, the way that Blueface has. He would never allow her to do drugs, drinking, and smoking while pregnant and hurt herself the way that Blueface has, okay? That's how you know that Blueface don't even love Chrisean. That's how you know. He allowed Chrisean to damage her body while she was so-called pregnant with his kid. You want to know why he did that? Because Blueface never wanted that baby in the first place. So that's why he let Chrisean poison herself the way that she did, because he didn't want Chrisean or this baby, okay? So we're gonna stop this right here because this video has gotten quite lengthy. Y'all head on over to part 2 right now because that's where it'll be. I got the rest of it at part 2, okay? Go ahead and do it right now. I love you. Meet me over there. Bye.